Good morning. Welcome to Just for Today, a time of eclectic reading, sharing of perspectives, meditation, and prayer. I'm Reverend Rafe Ellis, Senior Minister and Spiritual Leader at the newly joined Centers for Spiritual Living Communities of Greater Baltimore and Columbia. Today is August 9th. And this morning I am going to be reading from This Thing Called You by Ernest Holmes, author of Science of Mind. And I'm reading beginning at the bottom of page 2, continuing into page 3. We are all some part of a universal order. The very urge for personal gratification is incomplete until it finds a universal outlet. This is the cause back of all upheavals in human history. The pattern is trying to fit the pieces into greater and greater units as though it could not accomplish its purpose through anything other than a democracy of spirit, a union of all. This union, however, does not mean sameness. For while unity requires conformity to principles, unity never means uniformity. Every blade of grass, every crystal, every drop of water, like every individual, is a little different from any other one in its species. Humanity is made up of innumerable individuals, no two alike, and yet society is a composite whole, moving gradually towards some ultimate goal. What could this goal be other than that everyone, while remaining individual, shall find a more complete expression in and among all other individuals? This has been the dream of the ages, that the lion shall lie down with the lamb, and a little child shall lead them, as Jesus said, that they may be one, even as we are one. I love that this whole journey of coming to a new awareness of a wholeness, that one simply is another word for wholeness. It's another recognition that there's one life, many cells in the one body, many rooms in the one mansion, however we phrase it. One is never a negation of the many. Unity is never a negation of individualized expression through uniformity. And when we misconstrue unity to mean uniformity, when we misconstrue difference to mean separation, we create our experience of separation. When we really grasp that there's one body, one whole order of operation, and everything is a part of it. I love that biblical reference that the lion will lay down with the lamb. What that reminds me of is while we can hurt each other in this physical realm, we can't hurt each other spiritually. That doesn't mean we ignore the physical realm. That doesn't mean we waltz ourselves into physically dangerous situations from what I refer to as a bliss ninny ignorance and denial of what is happening right in front of us physiologically. But I do think it calls us to be present in alignment with spiritual principle. I love how it talks about that. That this unity, however, does not mean sameness. For while unity requires conformity to spiritual principles, unity never means uniformity. So unity does require something of us. And it's not that we're not unified, it's are we going to choose to live the unification that we are? Are we going to choose to live in alignment with spiritual principle that is our essence and our birthright? That is the harmonious operation of one. That's where we get to choose. Am I going to live in alignment with my spiritual self? Or am I going to choose an experience of separation? For me, that is the same choice of, do I choose heaven or do I choose hell? That they're not places of residence, they're states of mind, they're states of experience. And we each get to choose. And I invite us all to really embrace and embody this creative power of choice in the same grace and love and non-judgment that it was instilled in us. And stop making people bad and wrong who choose differently. Even if the choice causes harm in the human realm, we're empowered to know spiritual alignment and to up our game to live spiritual alignment even more visibly and more loudly and more evidently to help heal the whole. But we can't do that by vilifying anybody. Behavior can be wrong. And I invite us to take the time to identify what we're calling wrong as a behavior rather than making the whole person wrong. Yes, it takes a little more effort. Yes, it takes a bit more intentionality. Yes, we have to live in a different awareness to do that. And isn't that the whole point of this spiritual journey? To live in a greater awareness, in a greater intentionality, to be on purpose. We got this as soon as we choose it. So that's what's alive in me this morning. I see there's one person joining me. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. If you have anything that you want to share, you're welcome to do so in the comments. And if not, I'm going to I'm going to read our reading one more time and take us into our 5-minute meditative practice. It's just a time to be present with what is, to listen, to just practice that being present, practice that awareness thing. I invite you to just be present with what is. Don't try to make anything happen. Don't try to make anything not happen. Just be with what is for 5 minutes. Okay, here's the reading again. We are all some part of a universal order. The very urge for personal gratification is incomplete until it finds a universal outlet. The pattern is trying to fit the pieces into greater and greater units, as though it could not accomplish its purpose through anything other than a democracy of spirit, a union of all. This union, however, does not mean sameness. For while unity requires conformity to principle, Unity never means uniformity. Every blade of grass, every crystal, every drop of water, like every individual, is a little different from any other one in its species. Humanity is made up of innumerable individuals, no two alike, and yet society is a composite whole, moving gradually towards some ultimate goal. What could this goal be other than everyone, while remaining individual, shall find a more complete expression in and among all other individuals? This has been the dream of the ages, that the lion shall lie down with the lamb, and a little child shall lead them, as Jesus said, that they may be one, even as we are one. So breathing in, I bring my awareness to the ultimate, the absolute, the one reality. That there is only one power, one presence, one substance that creates out of itself to expand its experience of itself. And creating out of itself, it must infuse every expression of itself. Every form of creation must contain it, whatever we call it. Life, creation, God, Great Spirit, Yud-He Vav-He, the infinite, the divine, Buddha, Allah, Jesus. It is so far beyond a single name. It encompasses each of those names and many, many more. It is nameless. And while it individualizes itself in a multiplicity of form, the substance is changeless. Changeless because it already is all that is. There is nothing for it to change into, but rather infinite possibility for it to express. And so this nameless, changeless one expresses an exquisitely individualized multiplicity. And I am that. And what is true of me is true of all creation. Each and every form. A fully infused, fully empowered expression of life at whatever level it is expressing. And so I know that only life is present. That there is no separation in one. And that each and every individualized expression of this one has a place, has a function in the harmonious operation of this one. That each and every expression is like a cell in the one body, necessary, purposeful, differentiated to provide a specialized function that only it can provide, and yet so necessary to the whole. And so I claim and affirm that humanity is awakening to the wholeness of life, to the magnificence of the wholeness and the necessity of each individualized expression. I claim and affirm that humanity is awakening to the importance of every grain of dust, every germ, every virus, every bug, every storm, that all of it is purposeful. All of it has a place. And that there is an opening to know that wholeness, to fully participate in alignment with principle that manifests that wholeness, to release heels dug in to a position, in deference to a wholeness, a celebration of the diversity of creation, a curiosity that explores differences and celebrates expanded expression. What a magnificent world. So I release my word, knowing that my word is the desire of creation speaking itself into being. And I release my word by releasing all thought that would impede its full release. I release all doubt. I release all fear. I release every what if, yes, but. I release every you don't understand. I release it all. And free fall. Free fall, protected by the divinity that is me, into life, into an embrace, into an embodiment of all that is. Ashe. Shalom. Aho. Amen. Amen. And so it is. Namaste.